There we go. Hey everybody, now we're actually going to be getting into this. We're spawning directly on top of SoSo. SoSo, who is the, the orange Zerg in the bottom left, going up against GoSu.tgun from It's GoSu, the Australian pro gamer who is a very cool person. It's actually really fun for me because we're in the TSL qualifier. It's for the TSL 4 qualifier number 2 for NA and EU, which I am so happy to be a part of. As T-Gun is actually a player that I used to cast a lot in the TSL qualifiers for TSL 3. So I'm having personally a great time just sitting here talking to T-Gun once again. So we're going to be on Cloud Kingdom, and we're going to say, looks like SoSo, do you know GoSu Dragon? Huh. I have no idea who Ghost Dragon is, but I do know who Mill Dragon is. He's a cool Terran player. I'm pretty sure most people are aware of him, as he is a lot of fun. And we're going to be in a ZVZ. So far, we don't see any pools down, which is pretty cool to see. Do you have spammy buttons? Yeah, both players have enough hand speed at the very least. But T-Gun is a player that we've seen a lot. He's got a very interesting ZVP and ZVT style, but I have not seen him ZVZ in a long time. To be honest, I really haven't seen him play in a terribly long time too. But it's looking like he might actually be going for a hatchery first, which is really nice to see. On Cloud Kingdom, especially against an unknown player in a really important tournament, sometimes it can be a little bit dangerous to go for a hatchery first in a two-player map like this, but it looks like T-Gun is going to be perfectly happy to do just that. And now we're going to see if SoSo can go ahead and try and punish this. As you can see, he's getting down his extractor in the spawning pool, so it will be a speedling opener for him. Now it's a question of what he's going to be doing with the speedling opener. If he keeps all of his drones on his extractor, it's very possible he can go for a big baneling all-in. Even though that is weakened by the queens having 5 range, it can still be devastating if you land just those 1 or 2 baneling hits that are just so key on the mineral line, or perhaps on the Ling army. It can just win you the game outright. However, against a player of T-Gun's caliber, it's not entirely plausible that that's a realistic scenario. But with SoSo getting in here, he's going to be able to see the hatchery first. He knows the timing of it, and now is when he could be thinking, ooh, he's going hatchery first. I'm just doing a speedling opener. I would want to hit him quickly, but as you can see, there's only 1 guy in his gas, so we probably are going to be seeing banelings sort of quickly, but not as quickly as possible. There will be an expansion with this, as the drone is going to be heading down there. But the interesting thing is that if you look at T-Gun's vision, he's got 2 overlords here kind of streaming forward, but he didn't see any hatchery yet, and he hasn't checked for it to go down soon. He probably will shortly, but that's something that he's got to know, because if he doesn't see the hatchery, he can expect a big all-in from SoSo, and he'll be able to respond accordingly to it. But I hope you guys have gone to zanderfeverSC/vote to just, well, vote and say who's going to be winning. So I'm going to quickly just take a look at that and see what the percentages are. It looks like it's just 50-50, so people are having some nice faith in SoSo, but now it's looking like he's going to start doing a little bit of aggression against T-Gun. But with the spawn crawler coming up, not much is going to be able to be accomplished by SoSo. But this pool is almost done. There's been a fair bit of gas mine, actually enough to get a baneling nest is down, and it looks like he's going to be getting exactly that right now. And by the way, guys, if you're noticing that these lings look a little bit odd, I have the Stronger Team color mod on for only Zerglings, Banelings, and Zealots, which means we're going to be able to have no trouble at all in discerning whose Zerglings are whose and whose Banelings are whose. And I think it's a really helpful tool for deciphering ZVZs, because then it's not like, there's a battle, I don't know what's going on, but now we're going to be able to know who has whose units. But it looks like this Overlord may fall, it may actually survive. It's actually, no, but it's gonna fall. There we go. It's gonna die in about 2 seconds. We got 1 second, 2 seconds. There we go. It's dead. Which is a very nice pickup, but SoSo is pretty much planning on sacking it anyway. But this baneling nest is now completed, so baneling's going to be starting to hit T-Gun a little bit. They're not crazy all in, but T-Gun's going for a very smart move. Look at this Evo Chamber wall. That is a really smart thing to do, because now he can just cancel one of them. He'll have a smaller choke. He'll be able to funnel all of those lings and banelings into it. He'll be able to snipe the banelings as they move forward. But is he going to let it complete? He could let it complete. Yeah. I think he actually, he might have meant to cancel this one, actually. If you looked at it, he had it selected at the last second. I think he actually missed a cancel on that. But T-Gun is one of the few players I've actually seen really utilize wall-offs in Zerg matchups. I remember he used to have this crazy weird, it's either ZVP or ZVT, where he would actually wall off the front completely and then go for crazy amounts of mutas. Or was that ZVZ? I don't remember. It was so long ago. It was the TSL3 qualifiers. But he went crazy high muta count with that. And it was a little bit of an all-in, and I don't think he won with it in the game that we saw. But it's a very odd strategy that can definitely work. But Tegan is also fully aware of this Overlord, so he may just try and pick that off soon. But as you can see, he was forced to move the Overlord that was over there, unless he sacrificed that in to get the scout. But as of right now, we got the lair going down. Again, for SoSo, T-Gun is going to have to deal with a very quick lair. Look at this lair. It's halfway done. It's not even 8 minutes in. We could have some pretty quick roach play, I think, because there's no fourth gas yet, but he could get that fairly soon. Throw down his Spire and bring in a large muta count still pretty quickly off the 2 bases. But there's T-Gun. Looks like he wants to start working on moving out. He's going to kill off this lowermost Evo chamber. And he's got 4 queens. He's got actually 5 queens down here. Where's the 5th queen? Oh, it's coming down from the top. He's got 6 queens. Wow, T-Gun enjoys queens. If he could go for a big queen push, actually, kill off Overlords and just be really aggressive. He's 1 hit point. Oh, come on. T-Gun, 1 more shot. There we go. So T-Gun gets the kill. Very nice job there. It looks like we are seeing the Spire coming down here for SoSo. Does he have the extra? Yep, he just got this Evo chamber down there, which I'm liking a lot. So now, with this 3rd base going down, SoSo's going to have possibly 6 gas mutas, and that'll be really effective. But, oh, look at that! He gets actually links into the main base of T-Gun, forcing a lot of the units away, really taking advantage of the fact that this wall was killed. But T-Gun's going to start bringing in a fair count of roaches. We can see how his money is definitely up there for pumping out those roaches. He actually has a pretty solid drone count, all other things are considered. He didn't take any damage. He pretty much just let those links hit the scout, but you can see how his lair is getting closer to being done. But look at that. The lair is basically at the same timer as the Spire, so that's a little bit unfortunate for T-Gun. SoSo, his gas is going to be massive. He'll probably be able to get out a good solid 10 mutas when this Spire actually pops, or he go for 9 mutas and the attack upgrade if he really wants to, which would be perfectly understandable. I mean, you want to make those mutas as effective as they really can be ASAP, but now we're having the nice defensive spine crawls being thrown down, and I wonder if T-Gun has actually seen the 3rd base. Yeah, he has. Looks like he saw it with this, and actually, ooh, the 3rd gets denied for the moment. Did the Ling get the drone? I think the Ling got the drone. Nope, drone's still there. Just hiding for a second, but there's now T-Gun's 3rd, but it's behind SoSo. SoSo's going to be able to have a lot of map presence with these mutas, and looks like T-Gun wants to be a little bit of... Wait a second, he doesn't have speed. He doesn't have speed at all. There's T-Gun has no speed on his Zerglings. What? Well, now he sees these mutas, so he should be plopping down some Spore Crawlers right about now. Right about now, T-Gun, Spore Crawlers, where are they? Spore Crawlers, there we go. But he's got a lot of queens, and his roach count is going to be a little bit scary, but all the queens are here just defending this base. But with their endless transfuses, the mutas are going to have a little bit of trouble actually killing off anything at that base. And if these mutas are going to stream in and possibly put the hurt on, but though T-Gun's here, ready for it, he doesn't manage to kill any of the mutas quite yet, but he does force them back, and it looks like he's going to be able to keep this 3rd alive, and now we've got a lot of roaches on the field, but SoSo's going pretty much Ling muta at the moment. I'm kind of waiting for him to bring in some roach count of his because he did get this roach horn a while ago, but without the Glio Constitution, it's going to be a little bit harder for him to really make use of it. Lings pop up for a second and try and be a little bit aggressive, but T-Gun could actually do a really good job of focus firing these mutas with those queens, because when you have this amount of queens, your anti-air is really powerful. But my God, he has double digits of queens. There are 10 queens on the field right now. This is crazy. Alright, but now I got the Lings continue to try and attack and run by, but they're not going to do anything against this wall of roaches. And the great thing is that with the drones just rally to that 3rd base, they're just going to phase through. It doesn't even matter that the roaches are walling off. So it's just a perfectly Ling run-by proof wall with those roaches there, which is a great little move. But T-Gun got spine crawlers? You got spine crawlers instead of spore crawlers. You're defending against Ling run-bys, and now you're going to get hit by mutas, and there's no real anti-air, but a single queen here. And, oh, there's a 1 spore crawler. but that leaves this spawning pool vulnerable, the entire right side of this mineral line very vulnerable, and T-Gun doesn't even, I doubt he'll care that he's about to lose the spawning pool, because there's still no metabolic boost. Still no metabolic boost. Which is ridiculous. This is the only time I've ever seen a really high-level Zerg pro gamer just completely neglect metabolic boost. That's one of those upgrades that you just get because it's necessary. Oh, look at the train of queens. Is he getting more queens? I really want. Oh, he's not getting more queens. Oh, so sad. He does have 12 queens though. My God. Oh God, I've never seen so many in my life. That's so cool. But yeah, spawning pool is being replaced. You got patching glands, infestors, and everything on the way. So he's T-Gun's got a really nice opportunity to actually fungal the mutas and then use queens to kill them off and take no losses. But I really like the way that SoSo is using these mutas. He's not really building anymore. He just has this first initial group and he's using it for massive map presence and perhaps forcing out all these queens from T-Gun. But there's the fungal. There's the key fungal. So these mutas are all going to be dead. And coming out here from SoSo, he's got not really much else in terms of tech going on. He's just now attacking his third base over here, hitting a lot of damage. A lot of drones just went down, and the roaches are going to start moving in. It looks like T-Gun may be losing his third base. SoSo's actually got a massive food count lead, but there's the very nice fungals going down. And T-Gun with all these queens, he has them backing up these roaches really, really nicely. And he's actually going to take a little bit of a lead count in terms of the food. I always mess up that sentence, but the infestors are now burrowed, running away, and going to be quite solid. But SoSo did a nice bit of damage. He took down the hatchery, but he has lost a fair amount of resources and units. But most of that was actually the mutas, which were arguably expendable. But now T-Gun is in a little bit of a rough spot in terms of attacking, because he's got all these queens and no creep for them. But what he needs to do is get the overlord speed and start spreading down the creep in order to actually be able to let these queens go across the map, because as of right now they're going very, very slowly. But what we will be seeing is some infested Terran harass down here in the bottom right, but that's not going to go so well with this entire count. Oh, there's one spore crawler here. Wait, there is an overseer. There we go. The overseer's there. That's just going to be allowing one roach to go down. But are we going to see... Oh, we have flank from T-Gun. We're seeing him pushing forward. But are we going to have the infestors coming back here to sort of support? But this is actually a really interesting battle, because all the queens are not going to come into play. Let's just watch their health as they're going to be actually getting picked off one by one, as they can't transfuse when they get one-shotted. But there's infested Terran coming from the back. SoSo is actually looking like he may be able to take down T-Gun, because T-Gun doesn't have the forces. SoSo is a full surround with all these units. These queens, the queen force is getting transfused, but I mean, they're kind of falling, being forced to retreat, and retreating queens off creep is a really bad move, because they're just not going to go so well. SoSo's now got a 40 food count that's higher than T-Gun's, and T-Gun is looking like he's going to lose all those valuable queens, and we can see just how much both players have lost. And we actually have another expansion coming down here from SoSo in the bottom right, so he is really actually feeling to be pretty happy right now. T-Gun's going to try and get out more infestors, but he needs DPS. Infestors are cool and all, but you have to be able to kill the army. Infestors are going to have mobilized in the army, but where's the damage output to actually kill it? Because right now SoSo is going to kill off the rocks, be able to move up. That's a really important thing to kill off, because that way you can't get fungled right there in that one small choke. Now he's going to stream forward and start attacking. T-Gun is in a little bit of a rough spot. He's got a cloud of overlords, but that's going to do absolutely no good. We've got the drone streaming forward, but they're just going to go ahead and just transfer to the third that T-Gun put down once again. And T-Gun is starting to attack a lot of stuff with nice fungals, a good spread of roaches. He might be able to actually win this battle just through sheer positioning and spine crawler support. And we've got actually the death of the overseer. It's actually a nice move, because then T-Gun's going to be able to burrow, and T-Gun may be actually able to put some nice counter pressure on after that loss. But the thing is, there's this going down, but the fact that this third is dead for SoSo is really, really important. The problem is SoSo has another base fully up and running. Let's see that the income and everything, T-Gun's even behind in the worker count. That means the army count, though, is going to be in his favor, but I mean, by how much? He's got the infestor. Oh, there's another actually hatch going down from SoSo. So if this game continues going on, Lee's going to be going to SoSo ever so slightly as time goes on. T-Gun needs to make something happen. We actually have 3 Lings that are just freely attacking Those guys. Okay, so that's a bad battle for them. But T-Gun's upgrades. He's at 2-2 right now for his roaches. SoSo is also at 2-2. SoSo, no melee attack upgrades, and T-Gun just doesn't even have metabolic boost still, so he's no way he's going to be able to utilize Zerglings, which I think is a huge, huge mistake, because Zerglings, adding on a couple Zerglings to the army is so big. But SoSo's income is now vastly superior to T-Gun. T-Gun knows about this base. He's now harassing with Infested Terran, but he still has no idea about the bottom right base, and when he kills this guy off, he's basically assuming that he now has this base now pinned down to 3, but it looks like more roaches are trying to run by and actually do some damage down there, but that's not going to go so well. SoSo manages to pick those guys off pretty effectively. But continuing to watch around for T-Gun's opportunity, I'm not quite sure where it's going to be, because SoSo actually, he's still on Lair Tech, but he's got his own infestation pit done with the pathogen glands complete, so he's going to be able to get infestors out of his own. And when he's got that inferior, we're talking about inferior, it's the complete opposite of inferior. When he's got that superior economy, it's going to be a really hard battle for T-Gun, because they have the same army comp now. They have the same upgrades now as well. When you have 2-2 roaches and infestors going up against 2-2 roaches and infestors with a better economy behind it, it goes to the 2-2 roach infestor with a better economy behind it, because they're going to trade units. And then all of a sudden, T-Gun will make 20 roaches, but SoSo will make 30 roaches and 5 infestors, while T-Gun only make 3 infestors. And you can just see how it snowballs. The lead just will snowball into the favor of SoSo. And these couple links that are in here are actually going to be amazingly good tanks in the battle. Unless they get fungal, in which case they're just dead, but you know what I mean. Actually, even with fungals, they're going to spread out the roaches just ever so slightly so that a couple roaches less will be fungaled, and T-Gun wants to deal with that. But T-Gun is now somehow ahead in the food count. He's managed to rebuild a fair amount of drones, but SoSo has the lead in drone count and the lead in bases. T-Gun hasn't been able to get this base, or this base, and as you can see, this Link is doing a great job actually running around and looking for T-Gun's expansions, because right now, SoSo is expecting that to happen, but T-Gun is starting to look like he may not actually have any intention whatsoever of expanding, which is ridiculous and odd, but I mean, he's been able to push forward this army. If he can get the right engagement, that would be really, really, really key. But if he can get the fungal, and lock these units out, he gets the fungal. That's a really key fungal. We can see this entire army from SoSo is there in the back, and they're going to be in a really rough spot. Fungals are getting landed everywhere. T-Gun lands another key fungal, and we can see the choke is so bad for SoSo. T-Gun just took a big chunk out of that army, and we can see the remax over SoSo is quite strong. 18 roaches are going to be coming back into play for him, and it looks like T-Gun actually wants to start harassing these. Oh, he actually fungals the overlords. Oh yeah, I suppose he's got enough infestors. But that's actually not going to even be enough to... Wait, these infestors got fungaled. Or actually could fall, but he gets the infested Terran out. Really, really important key thing for T-Gun to make sure he can actually make use of those infestors before they die. And he actually does it to successfully supply box SoSo, forcing out a lot of overlords. And now says, oh my god, T-Gun! You're infestors! You're infestors! Oh, T-Gun, that's a terrible... Burrow them! Move them away! Oh no, T-Gun just lost all of his infestors. That's terrible. It's one infestor left. T-Gun gets a nice spread in his roaches, but look at the forces of SoSo. SoSo's got a nice lead in terms of the army, but there's more infestors back here for T-Gun, which is so key. 4 infestors, but fungals landing everywhere. T-Gun's got actually a roach lead. He might be able to snowball this into his favor. He can stream forward with them and possibly do even more damage. These roaches do have, they do have a large lead. All of a sudden, T-Gun, what? Say what? And the Hive Deck is out for T-Gun as well. We see him upgrading the +3/+3 for those roaches. This hatchery is now done, and T-Gun just made this into his game. He was in a tough spot before, but this engagement in the middle was perfect. Or was it here? This engagement in the middle over here was perfect. Oh, very nice. And now he's got an economy once again. He's now ahead in against SoSo. SoSo is now being forced to re-get his base once again and re-drone over there. SoSo is... It's not in the best spot. That's amazing. T-Gun was actually able to pull that off. We see that these roaches are getting a very nice bit of regeneration from there. I think they might actually have the Tunneling Claws upgrade. Where are you, Roachborn? There you are, Roachborn. And yes, Tunneling Claws. So we have an entirely underground mobile army from T-Gun. Talk about an important little thing to realize. But now with these with this expansion going back up and this expansion going back up, looks like it was actually harassed a little bit more once again from T-Gun. I'm pretty sure I keep missing this base getting harassed, but I mean, this game is looking to be pretty sweet. And this Overlord is kind of staying here, just staring at his army, but T-Gun looks like he wants to push out now. It's 3-3. Actually, both players are researching their 3-3. SoSo has his hive tech coming up, and this is going to be a dead... Look, nice cancellation timing. Very nice cancellation timing. Look at the spread of Overlords from SoSo. So much vision. T-Gun T-Gun's got good vision himself, but this pattern down here, this is the key Overlord that I'm seeing. The Overlord spread means that T-Gun cannot attack without SoSo knowing the exact angle of attack, and that is so key for these scenarios. But SoSo's trying to push out. He's going to have his 3-3 a little bit later than T-Gun. So if T-Gun can attack right when his 3-3 finishes, that'll be really important. But it's going to be such a small window of opportunity, literally 20 to 40 seconds, depending on which upgrade you're looking at. But now we're seeing him start to attack. Ultras are coming forward, but they're all choked up over here. They're completely choked over here. And that's going to be really, really unfortunate because T-Gun is going to be able to completely take advantage of those Ultras not being able to do anything, as all of these, oh god, all the roaches from the back are going to be hit by the infested Terran and T-Gun's roaches, and the infested Terran roach combination is going to be really, really bad. SoSo doesn't have any attack upgrades for these ultras, and that means they're not going to be that all effective against this army, and that's going to be so bad. But now they're watching the stream, and they're basically going to be able to one-shot or two-shot these ultras, and that's really bad. It looks like T-Gun should be able to take this game. I mean, this is an insane ZVZ. We're 29 minutes into this game, and there's still no GG. There's going to be this ultra with 10 hit points, somehow managing to stay alive. And there we go, it finally goes down. SoSo is holding on by the skin of his teeth. Or I guess the skin of his carrot base because he's a Zerg. Oh, bad jokes. I waited a while without making the bad joke, but it just had to happen at some point. Alright, so T-Gun's got all of his infestors here, although roaches are down. And T-Gun is actually starting to work on getting down a greater spire. So we're going to have Broodlords versus Ultras, and I'd say it's a better battle for the Broodlords in terms of a direct engagement, but the Ultras have that advantage with mobility. But SoSo is still trying to hold on. He's really, really giving T-Gun a run to end this game, and it's just not happening yet. But this base has gone down yet again. Look at this third base and how many minerals and everything are actually still here. It's crazy. Full gas geysers too. Wow, that's really telling how the game has gone. Looks like T-Gun's going to send down here. Looks like he has realized this base is up because he has a couple roaches now harassing, doing actually a surprising amount of damage here. They're going to see the death of this extractor, and then there's the drones retreating. SoSo is down to 24 drones. His game is basically done. He's being annoying as he can, but we have 3-3 roaches. We've got these infestors running around, and this Overlord is still there. Looks like the hive cluster is getting attacked, and I'm just kind of curious as to what the voting has been saying for now. Let's just quickly check that. Looks like, yeah, T-Gun is the fast favorite, and it's looking like that's a very smart move. But here could be the end game push. GG does get called. Talk about a great game to start the TSL qualifier. Team Liquid. Awesomeness all around, and I am happy to see T-Gun winning. SoSo had a great fight, but definitely a well done game by both players. A 30-minute long Hive Tech ZVZ. Those things are rare and far between, but very nicely done. Very, very enjoyable game.